Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good, good. Who is this?
This is Christian Sovereign from Yorkville
Yes,
Christian High
I know
School.
Christian. Are you the one with the blonde hair, right?
Yes, sir.
You're the shooter, but that never gets any shots. Alrighty.
It's a pleasure having you on here. This is Lucas Skinner, co-host for the podcast. It's great.
Okay.
It's great to be able to interview somebody like you.
Okay, great. Christian and Lucas. Okay.
All right, so the first question that we have for you today is I'm wondering how you got into coaching and what led you that way, and if you had any influences to bring you into the coaching field.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I learned early in my life, Christian, that how much I loved sports. Um, I participated back when I went to high school. You did a lot of different sports. You just didn't specialize in one. There was no AAU. You grow up in communities where you play a fall sports, winter sport, and a spring sport. And I knew about my sophomore year in high school. I really idolized my coach, and I knew at that time I was on the JV basketball team, and I said, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be good enough to play at a high level as a player. But what's the next best thing? I looked up to my coaches. I loved all the coaches that coached me as an early age, and so I decided the next best thing would be a coach. And so that's why I'm one of the people in this world that is doing something that they truly love to do, and they knew that at an early age. So what I felt that I would become was a high school basketball coach. And so that's what my mindset was. That's why I went to Illinois State University. I thought that, because it was a good education school, and, I was in the fall, I ran cross country and played baseball. In the winter, I played basketball, and then in the spring, I played baseball again. So, it was, I went to Taylorville High School, which is down by Springfield, Illinois, and it was a perfect situation for me. So, in college, I was on the baseball team at Illinois State University, a very good baseball team, by the way, and then I went into coaching from there.
Being a coach, you've obviously had many great opportunities to work with partners like Doug Collins, and be able to work with Chris Collins and coach him. I was wondering what it's like to be able to have guys like that with you for pretty much an extensive time in your career.
Yeah, that's you're exactly right. Chris Collins is like my younger brother, and Doug Collins is like my older brother. And Doug Collins also went to Illinois State, not at the exact same time that I did, but when I was, not only was I on the baseball team at Illinois State, but I was more or less like a graduate assistant on their basketball team, helping our basketball staff. And so, Doug Collins was a senior in college when I was a senior in high school, but when he was a young pro, he kept coming back to Illinois State, playing in the summertime. And that's where we met and became friends. And then after he retired and became a basketball coach at Arizona State, I visited him on two separate, vacations, spring break trips, and spent about a week with him each time, talking basketball and just rekindling our friendship. And 1 year later, I became the basketball coach at Romeoville High School, and he became the Chicago Bulls coach. So, that's where I started working with him on a part-time basis, not only coaching my own high school team, but helping the Bulls part-time. And then eventually I took the job at Glenbrook North High School, and not because of Chris Collins, just because the job was open and it was a good job. And Chris Collins was a sophomore to be at that school. So, I knew Doug, and then Chris Collins was a sophomore, and I got to coach Chris for 3 years. So now, so I've known Chris Collins since he was 14 years old. and he was a tremendous player. We had great success. He was Mr. Basketball of Illinois, a McDonald's All-American, earned a scholarship to Duke, played in the national championship game, although he lost in a close game to Arkansas, but had a great career at Duke. Led his team to another NCAA appearance as the best player on their team as his senior year before he injured himself. So, I've worked with Chris for 7 years here at Northwestern, and coached him for 3, so I've been with him very closely for 10 years. And then I coached with his father, Doug, for 8.5 years with 3 different teams in the pros during my career. He wasn't the only one I worked for. I was in the NBA for 18 years, but 8.5 of those years were with Doug Collins.
Definitely sounds like it's great to be able to have someone along your side to be able to help you along the way.
Well, they've been great mentors. Doug's been a great mentor of mine, and he's probably the smartest basketball coach I've ever known and worked with. I mean, he was great at making in-game adjustments if you were going to defend something a certain way or make a critical substitution. He knew exactly what to do. He knew what plays to run at what time. He was great at late game execution. He was incredible at turning bad programs into great programs in a hurry, changing the culture, and he was just a truly remarkable coach, and he would do anything for anybody that worked for him. And that's what. Not only was he a great coach, he's even a greater person. And Chris is cut out of that same cloth, and he's a very, very hard worker. That's why we're so competitive all the time, and it's not easy being a student athlete at Northwestern with the academic rigors that they have to go through. But we've done a decent job of recruiting and made our first ever NCAA appearance, and that's all due to all the credit should go to Chris Collins. So two of the best minds in the country in basketball.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like it's been a great experience for you, and you've really formed a good relationship with both Chris and Doug Collins.
And not only those two, I got to work with a lot of other great coaches in the NBA. I worked for Alvin Gentry, who's now the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans. He was an assistant with me in Detroit, and then took over for Doug. I've worked for Butch Carter, he was a very good coach in Toronto. That's the brother of Chris Carter, the Hall of Famer NFL football player. I coached with Lenny Wilkins, who's the all-time leads the NBA in wins, and I worked with him in Toronto. Then I again worked with Doug not only in Detroit but in Washington for 2 years. After that, I was a broadcaster for Comcast Sportsnet in Washington, D.C. My broadcast partner was Sage Steele, who's currently on ESPN, and then I got back into coaching again, worked for Terry Stotts, who's now the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. We coached together in Milwaukee, and I worked with Larry Kostoviak, who's now the head coach at the University of Utah, who was a former great player in the NBA. And then I rekindled with Doug again in Philadelphia, and we had a very, very good team there. A lot of pros on that team who are still currently playing. Evan Turner, Lou Williams, who's continually going to be Sixth Man of the Year almost every year. Thaddeus Young, who's on the Bulls right now. Elton Brand, who's the general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers. Andre Iguodala, who's got MVPs of NBA Finals. So we beat the Bulls in the first round of the playoffs and lost to Boston in Game 7 in the second round. And I think part of that, those film clips are on a movie now with Adam Sandler called Uncut Gems. But that was a great, great team. And I've worked with a lot of guys throughout the league. And so a lot of the players that are still great players, Grant Hill, Joe Dumars in the Hall of Fame, so Michael Jordan in Washington. So I've been blessed.
Yeah, it sounds like you've had quite the experience in the NBA.
I walk in, and one day I'm coaching high school kids, and the next day I'm coaching Grant Hill, Joe Dumars, Rick Mahorn from the Bad Boys, basketball and might go down as one of the top 10 to 15 players ever to play had he not been injured. But
So you said that you've been in the NBA for 18 years. I'm curious on what your favorite organization to work for has been.
My first month on the job, we 3 days after I took the job, we traded a guy by the name of Marcus Camby, but in return, we got back Charles Oakley. And Charles is one of the not only a great power forward ever to play, but he was one of my favorite players of all time to coach. I got to coach him 3 different times. And in the first month of the job, we drafted a young rookie out of North Carolina by the name of Vince Carter, who's still playing in his final season here this year. And Vince at that time and still is probably the best player I ever coached. Because he was so electric and he was not afraid to take game-winning shots. He made multiple game-winning shots for us, and won the slam dunk competition and probably the most famous slam dunk competition of all time at the All-Star game in Oakland. But we had Tracy McGrady, who is a Hall of Famer. I got to coach Del Curry, whose father is the father of Steph Curry, and Del, in his own right, was a great. One of the leading scorers all time in Charlotte Hornet history. So, there was Antonio Davis, who is a tremendous power forward in this league. Muggsy Bogues, who's very famous, 5'8", but a tremendous point guard in his day. So, I think that right there, that Toronto was a new city in the NBA. It was almost like coaching a college atmosphere and a European flair, because it's so diverse in Toronto. There were flags all over the place, different countries and so forth, and every game was a sellout, and they were so appreciative of us going there and putting a winner on the floor.
Yeah, for sure. As we've seen in recent history, they just won the NBA championship, so it's a great basketball town, and they seem to.
Well, when you watched the NBA Finals last year, you saw the crowds right inside the arena and outside. I mean, it's an electric atmosphere, and they really support their sports teams there. Okay, and it's a great city. It's a cosmopolitan city. It's a cross between New York and Chicago with a lot of European flair to it. So, people from all over the world live there, and it's just a tremendous city, and they've done a great job of Larry Tannenbaum, their owner, has done a great job of really promoting the Raptors. I've enjoyed every job that I've had in the pros, but that one has a special feeling to me.
Yeah, for sure. Something that I was wondering about when you're coaching, in your coaching career as an NBA coach, what has been your favorite moment that you've had?
Well, I've had a number of famous moments. I grew up being a Chicago Bulls fan, as everybody from Illinois would probably be, and winning a playoff series against the Bulls when they're the number 1 seed and we're the number 8 seed in Philadelphia has to really mark as one of the highlights of my career. That's the year that Derrick Rose was on the Bulls and he got hurt in game 1 of the playoffs, where he had a serious knee injury, and that happened unfortunately right in front of me. So, we won that series. That was a great series where we went on and then lost a heartbreaking Game 7 to Boston. Another great moment for me is getting able to coach in the NBA All-Star game. My second year in the NBA, I knew that would be a hard feat to get back there, so I truly relished that. You have to have the best record in the East at the halfway mark to be able to coach in the All-Star game. So that was the game that they honored the top 50 players of all time in the NBA. That was held in Cleveland, Ohio. So that was in 1996. It was the 1996-97 season. So, that was a tremendous thrill for me, to say the least. But just being able to associate with those great players. I got to coach Michael Jordan at the end of his career, his last 2 years playing for the Washington Wizards. And that was like coaching Elvis Presley, and he was such a dedicated athlete and our best players, even at the age of 40.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking on the fact that you've coached players like Michael Jordan, Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and others, I was wondering if there are any other maybe more low key players that you love to coach that you thought just were great guys to have on your team.
So much. Really, I can't think of. It's instead of a handful of players that I love to coach, I could only think of a handful of players that I didn't like to coach. I mean, I look at one as a guy by the name of Michael Curry, who played for us in Detroit. We signed him on a 10-day contract out of Europe. He came in and immediately became one of the leaders on our team just due to his work ethic, his charisma in the locker room. He would do anything for the coaches. In terms of getting our team better, and he ended up having about an 8 to 9 year career in the NBA. And I coached with Michael in Philadelphia, so those success stories were a guy that is not a marquee player. Roy L. Ivey, I coached about 3 different times in the NBA, and he's still a coach in the NBA to this day. He was a third string point guard, but I love those guys that are, they may not play for 5 games in a row, and you call their number, and they sprint to the scorer's table, and they play for 3 to 5 minutes, and they just give you everything they got. And they're happy to be there, and they're hard workers. Those are just 2 names that I could throw out at you. Muggsy Bogues at the end of his career was still like the Pied Piper. People just wanted to be around him. Charismatic guy. But I could think of many people. Tony Kukoc from Bulls fame. I coached him this last year in Milwaukee, and he was still a very good player at that time and fun to be around. So a lot of players.
Yeah, for sure. So you've obviously coached a lot of players in your 18-year NBA tenure, but transitioning back to college, how has that been for you? As I'm sure the travel is way different, and just shorter schedule and things that way. Like, how does that work?
You play less games, but you probably work more days in the calendar year, and so it's a very demanding job coaching college basketball, and part of that is because of the recruiting. And but I love coaching at Northwestern. Instead of 90 games a year, you play about 30 or 32 games a year, because in the NBA you have 8 preseason games and then 82 regular season games. And if you're blessed to make the playoffs, you coach at about 95 games. In college, it's about a 30-game season. You play 2 preseason games, and then hopefully make the postseason tournament. So you're going to play anywhere from 32 to up to 35 games, and it's a big difference. But on your off days, I can say the big difference in your calendar year is in the NBA. You know where you're going to be every single day of the calendar year. You know you're going to be in what city on what day, and even in summer leagues and so forth like that. In college, it's entirely different. Recruiting is a different animal in its own right, where you may decide on a Thursday night that you're going to go see a high school kid on a Friday night clear across the country because you want to start recruiting. So you never know, and you're bouncing all over the place in AAUs in the springtime, summertime. So you only in the NBA you probably get anywhere now from 4 to 6 weeks off, and in the college you probably get about 2 weeks off.
Wow, yeah, it definitely sounds like although the NBA has more games and things like that, it's definitely a tougher schedule, it seems like, for college coaches, as they're always
really is.
involved.
But the one thing about it is, and I could say this probably for a lot of college coaches, they really enjoy working at the schools that they are. I just love coaching here at Northwestern. We got great kids here. And when you get a degree from Northwestern, it's when they play here, it's not a 4-year decision. It's like a 40-year decision. So not only do you want to play basketball at the highest level, but you also want to get a great degree to set you up for post college. So it's been great, because we've had some great players here, but yet some tremendous people who are now lawyers and wanting to be broadcasters and medical people and top salesmen. And so so forth. And it's a good situation here. Are we going to win the NCAA championship here at Northwestern? The odds are against us, but we're not going to quit trying. But yet, coaching college has many, many rewards as well.
Looking at your upcoming schedule for Northwestern, it appears as though you guys play Illinois, Maryland, Ohio State, and Michigan State. I'm wondering what it's like to, like you said, the odds are always against you. So,
we're the underdog in every game that we're going to play the rest of the year, and that's fun. I'd rather be the favorite, to tell you the truth, but that's the deck of cards that we're dealing with. We've had some winners here at Northwestern. One year we won 20, then the following year we won 24, and beat Vanderbilt in the NCAA tournament. We had a star in Brian McIntosh, who was our point guard for 4 years. But this year we have a very, very young team. 8 of our top 10 players are freshmen and sophomores. Everybody loves our young core. If we can keep this group together, we think in another year or two at the most that they're going to get us back to the NCAA tournament, and that's our hope. But you're right. Right now we've only got one conference win. We beat Nebraska just a few days ago by 5 points, and right now we just got lost last night to Iowa. So the Big Ten, in my mind, is the best conference in the country. It's the closest conference league to the NBA. It's maybe not as athletic as the ACC, but the ACC, in my mind, is top heavy with elite teams, and then the teams at the bottom are not so elite. But the Big Ten, anybody can beat anybody else on any given night, and it's just a grueling grind. And we have Illinois next. They're ranked for the first time in a while. They've got 2 huge big men, and as does everybody else. The Big Ten is just loaded with very talented centers. We had Luka Garza last night. They got 27 points in 23 minutes, averaging close to 30 in the Big Ten Conference. We get Kofi Cockburn and Georgie Brazili to Saturday at Illinois, and you've got Maryland, who's got great big men. Ohio State has got great big men. Michigan State has got Xavier Tillman. You got the 2 guys at Purdue. You got Rutgers has got a front line loaded. John Teskey at Michigan. It's Mike Watkins and Lamar Stevens at Penn State. It just doesn't end. So, we're trying our best. We're going to get as many wins as we can with this young team, but it's not easy being the underdog every single game you play.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for joining us today, Coach, and good luck to you for the rest of the year, and we hope that you guys finish the year strong and get some wins.
And I appreciate you guys having me on. I've enjoyed it, and good luck to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Have a good rest of your day, and good luck for the rest of the season.